Here is a box, a musical box, wound up and ready to play. But this box holds a secret. I wonder what's in it today.
Expatriate, commiserate, perambulate.
Oh,
That's right, listeners. We're back, and this time we're in stereo.
The Lord Pendlebury Adventures by Brian Hughes, Episode 7 of Mice and Gods.
Deteriorate.
Decorate.
for the more intelligent of our listeners, and let's be honest here, there can't be many of them, let's pause a moment and consider our own thought processes. Have you ever wondered how a solitary strand of reasoning knows where it's going at the outset? For example, when you say a sentence out loud, how does the initial thought behind it determine where and when it's going to stop? Are we programmed to respond instinctively, therefore lacking self-determination, or is there some
What a boring twat.
It was a mercy killing. Let's see what the moribund knackersack was reading. La-di-da. Meanwhile, in a red telephone box somewhere over a Wardley's pub, Laura Pendlebury and Polly Jenkins.
Pendlebury and Jenkins, the barber mama look-alike in the crooked top hat and the overweight godhead who looks as though she's just dismounted a pot-bellied bull, sworn enemies of the pepper pots, their pilling zombies, and all known side salads. We must dehyphenate them.
Excruciate, deregulate, transcendental meditate, inseminate.
Stop overacting, you short-ass metal suppository. You defecated magnesium all over the carpet. Destroy this recording booth stroke kitchen immediately.
I've got to hand it to you, Laura. This is a great view of the Wardley's pub, stroke Canterbury's farm burning down, circa whatever year this is stroke was. Assuming that the Wardley's pub ever caught fire in the first place, of course. There's some debate about that. The writer should have conducted a bit more research, to be honest, although the bit about it being a Canterbury's farm is accurate enough. It would have been better mind if the twatter wasn't hovering in a suspicious cloud of green smoke. It's like one of Prince Harry's garden parties down there.
Stop sitting on the doorstep with your flabby, hirsute legs hanging over the edge, Polly. You're letting the smoke in. It's stuffier than a broom cupboard at Alison Moyer's broken window.
Is it just me, Laura, or is everything getting like really groovy, dude? Wow, look at those stars, chicks, stroke walrus. They're all like teardrops in the darkness, babe. Dig out the skins, roll some oxo cube and play some sounds on your tin whistle.
I'm feeling woozy. I'll open a window with this broom. Has anyone ever told you, Polynesia, that your eyes are like two kittens' toes in a bowl of melted butter? And the way the moonlight catches that scab on your knee sends shivers down my spine.
I love you, Laura. I've never told you that before because, well, it's not true. But right now, I'm hornier than John Prescott's secretary after sharpening her pencil in his stubby arse, and I've got a strange desire for alfalfa sprouts.
I want to mount you, Polly, like a rotting hedgehog confused by a lavatory brush. Take me, Mistress Jenkins, gigantic pink goddess of the netherworld. Ride me like a greased-up hog to Mars and back, and then twice around the gasworks, just for good measure.
Rip like corsets off with your teeth, you insatiable minx. Tie me up with a telephone cord and beat my bottom black and blue with a rolled-up directory.
Hand me that gas mask with a special attachment, you voluptuous rhino. I'm going to clockwork orange you to Venus, then orbit Uranus with the rubber nose.
My God, that can't be legal in this universe. No, leave your top hat on, you quivering pink jelly. Feathered tickles.
Bugger the feather. This'll really make your toes curl.
What are you doing? That's not a tartan strap-on. That's my flask.
I know. Bend over, Mistress Blobby. Here comes Crinkly Bottoms. Good missile. Tally-ho. Morning, Polly, my naughty hippopotamus.
What happened? The last thing I remember was watching the Wardless pub burn down and feeling disorientated by that weird miasma.
Ah, right.
How come we're in bed together with no clothes on? And why are my bloomers stretched across the console filled with custard?
The Twitter's central heating system's on the blink. Time to get up and face the door now. According to the script, there's going to be a bit of narration next, but it's held together with sticky tape because some malevolent force unknown to us has wrecked the narrator's booth.
The thought that has most occupied philosophers' minds since the meaning of life. The answer is surprisingly odd, and put simply, we expect rubber tubing, so now you know. Meanwhile, in another of the Pepper Pots.
Bow down before us, evil frauds, and wish our masters all be eliminated.
No, you haven't got the hang of this, have you? It's 5 letters, and the middle one is O.
Right, is it a film?
Corners have been reached and Bold Pendlebury Squatter is spotted hovering above the charging rings of the walkies. Polly Jenkins is currently standing in a gold frame in a moth-eaten bathroom. Big Bunny said his home crafty plan. And I might just add, on a personal note, because the same was making a cameo in a previous episode, but I too O'Neill, Christopher picking his spermy farts after one about to be a little passenger. And they still tasted better than Asda's microwavable shepherd's pie.
Main brace the torpedoes, spice the brigadier, and on the garbage chute. Hold on to your riveted corsets, and let's lick the tin hot dogs of war.
There's a massive red and yellow missile heading towards us, Laura, billowing more smoke than Lord Mountbatten's boots.
There's nothing like topical humour, Polly. And let's be honest, that was nothing like topical humour. Don't bother me at the moment. I'm scrubbing the wax from last night's soiree out of my panties. For some reason, I keep finding licorice all sorts in it. The missile's probably just one of your hymning marital aids on its way back from the St. Anne's Gasworkers' annual dinner dance.
Seriously, Laura, it's moving faster than Roswell's accountant after a letter from his auditors.
Excellent! More topical humour. We're giving Private Eye a run for their money here. By Edward Heath's barnacle-encrusted posterior, it's caused the fabric of the universe to rip asunder. Again! I've only just had it redecorated. Hold on to your jockstrap, old gal. We're being sucked off.
In, Laura, sucked in.
Exactly. We're being sucked in, like the listeners with regards to this somewhat flimsy narrative.
Hey up, Nora. Those wrinkled stockings of yours aren't half making me handy.
Get off me doorstep. You're always on me doorstep, you are. Why are you always on me
Oh,
doorstep?
Nora, I love it when you get angry. It makes your stockings all wrinkled.
Go on, get off me doorstep. I've told you before about being on me doorstep. What are you doing on me doorstep? Be off with
Hey,
you.
Nora. Stockings, wrinkles,
How
repeat
many
ad
times must I
infinitum.
tell you to get off my doorstep? Go on, get off. This is my doorstep. You're
Get your doorstep
back. Dirty stocking. How many times?
It appears we've been blown through that gigantic tear into a parallel universe. A dark and soulless pit beyond the final barrier, full of creeping, horrible mutants.
Bloody hell, we're in Yorkshire.
Even worse, the impact's made my socks all wrinkled.
What was that? Sounded like an audience laughing.
Bear with, let me just check my plot-explaining gizmo. It's worse than I thought, Polly. We've landed in the British sitcom universe, a realm of mindless, middle-class tedium, where nobody smokes, the working class are always totally thick, and rotting vegetables, with no sense of humour, laugh moronically at the rhythm of words rather than anything funny.
Like I said, Yorkshire.
That's going to get really tedious really quickly. Back to the twatter, Polly. We need to figure out a way out of this depressing levity before our souls start to sag with all the disease dreariness of Janet's street porter's gums.
Wrinkled stockings. Hey up, Nora. Freddie Starr. Thought so. That bastard's not funny in any universe.
And so, the time-travelling duo set the coordinate by pushing the character of Joan Collins' pucker depressing.
Grey circle of smoke around Michael Douglas's lips.
The door hinges crunching as his big toe, Spock,
Just as Madeline Albright wielded the cactus above.
clatter console.
You'd think with this being a parallel universe, they would have had a parallel narrator to go along with it. One whose booth wasn't still knackered. The writers obviously missed the trick.
Shut up, Polly. Put that cactus in the dishwasher. We're coming in to land.
Happy lovely New York tosses, no one's fat or overdoses. We don't do disabled here, apart from Brits who are all queer. There's the guy who makes bad jokes, there's the slag who sleeps with monks, and there's the one who's always grumpy, living fluffy, crime-free, comfy, pointless lives.
New York Tosses is a film before a dead studio audience.
Hey, what you doing?
Hey, Judy, I just come back from the ophthalmologist. Man, you should have seen the teeth on that British guy there. All rotten and yellow like a horse's fanny.
Yep, we sure whooped their asses in the War of Independence. That's right, I said asses. Now they're jealous because we're so beautiful and rich and they're so ugly and gay. The only thing uglier than a Brit is a pregnant Mexican. Let's face it, they're all pregnant. Kill the British! Kill the British bastards! Kill them!
According to my navigational instruments, Polly, we've crossed the galactic pond and are now in the American sitcom universe. A particularly unpleasant cesspit woven from super-anerated ego and overweight escapism, where evolution stopped in the 1950s and society barely exists nowadays on worn-out recycled jokes. In this culture, you can't swear, unless, of course, it's a British swear word such as buggery, because being so insular, they have no concept of where their native tongue originated. You can't do politics, satire, social commentary, or religion, because the entire universe is controlled by commercial sponsors. Basically, it's a total...
Hey, what you doing? It's a pair of pale-ass Brits with cemeteries for mouths.
Seriously, you've got 16 professional comedy writers behind every episode, and this is the best you can come up with. The original British teeth gag first appeared in Austin Powers, I recall, and wasn't directed at the British per se, but at the fact that in the 70s dental hygiene wasn't regarded with such fascism as in modern times. The joke was nicked and then customised for the xenophobic Simpsons with their bumper book of British teeth gag, after which it's now been reused so many times by bland, humourless American comedy writers that it now falls into the same bracket as black men all having enormous and Jewish people having massive noses.
Listen to that. A gay, buck-toothed Brit criticising the American sense of humour? Best not mention Benny Hill, eh, folks?
Benny Hill died in the 80s, you grotesque caricature of American charmlessness. For several decades previous to his demise, he hadn't been broadcast on British television because he was deemed too out of date. His 1960s style of humour was only shown in the USA from the 70s onwards, a land still appreciative of homophobia, sexism, and double entendres. Speaking of which, hand me that cricket bat, Polly. Let me explain to this American how the good old brown dentured British innuendo works with a few visual gags. Firstly, out for a duck. Then there was the crease. And the googly. And lastly, the failure to bowl a maiden over.
We're losing the audience, Laura. Hand me that puppy, quick. Look, everybody. Look at it. Ickle wiggles that
It's not working. Here, use this bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. And drop your trousers. Your buttocks will automatically be pixelated, and with your colossal behind, the audience won't be able to see what we're up to.
Right, just one move from you obese American and the Zinger Burger gets it. We're going to carefully step backwards into the and...
That was close, Polly. They're emerging from the shadows. Look, what a gruesome flange of brainless ogres. I'll never worry about the size of my arse again. This lot are distorting the fabric of reality around them. Look at that grotesque heifer with the warty head. That's not a human. It's a baby planet. Time to get out of here and into goodness knows what sorts of troubles and adventures in the next episode.
Is that it? I see more tension building cliffhangers peering over the wall at Little Bispin before wandering off for a 99.
Don't let it bother you, Polly. Our one remaining listener switched off 8 minutes ago.
Of Mice and Gods was written by Brian Hughes in no regard for how the title was related to the plot. This, the first ever episode to be recorded in stereo, starred Juliet Gregson, Harry Sedgwick, pseudonym the mysterious cameo computer voice from Essex, and Michelle Harris in a variety of badly acted roles. The music was borrowed without permission from Kevin MacLeod as part of our campaign to secretly plough through his entire repertoire bit by bit.
There's a parallel end credits announcer in this universe then.
Tune in next time, Pendlebury heads, for the terrible attack of Dennis Healy's eyebrows and other up-to-the-minute satirical references.
Or possibly not, you annoyingly unfunny apes.
Pepper Potts, run away!